No one on Earth saw the alien fleet arrive. There was no warning light in the sky, no strange sound, no explosion. One moment, space around Earth was empty. The next moment, it was full. Thousands of massive ships appeared at the same time. They surrounded the planet in perfect order, like a dark metal ring closing slowly around a fragile world. The ships were black and sharp, shaped like weapons made of shadows. No engines burned, no lights flashed. They simply existed. Every telescope saw them, every satellite detected them, every nation saw the same image. Then, one by one, satellites went silent. GPS signals failed, airplanes lost contact, ships at sea froze in place. Across the planet, people looked up. In New York, crowds filled the streets, staring at the sky. In Tokyo, traffic stopped without a single horn. In deserts and forests, animals went silent, as if the planet itself was holding its breath. Inside the alien command ship, far above Earth, the mood was calm. The aliens were not excited, they were not angry, they were bored. "This species has reached the end of its cycle," the alien commander said. His voice was smooth and certain. Holograms floated in the air around him, charts, numbers, predictions. All of them pointed to the same result: human panic. "We have seen this pattern thousands of times," another alien officer said. "Fear first, then chaos, then collapse." The commander nodded. "Humans are emotional, divided, loud. They will destroy themselves before we need to act." The fleet did not move, it did not attack, it waited. On Earth, the first message arrived. Every screen turned black at the same time. Phones, TVs, digital signs, even old radios activated on their own. A single symbol appeared first: alien, cold, perfect. Then it changed into clear human language. "This civilization has reached its final stage." The voice was calm, almost gentle. "Do not resist. Panic is expected." A countdown appeared. 06:00:00. 6 hours. The message repeated once, then it vanished. Panic was supposed to begin. The alien models predicted riots within 3 minutes, military misfires within 10, global collapse within 1 hour. But something was wrong. On Earth, people were afraid, that was true. But they did not riot. They did not scream into the streets. Emergency rooms filled, families hugged each other. Some people prayed, others cried quietly. But cities did not burn. Governments did not collapse, and that confused the aliens. Inside the alien command ship, data streams began to slow. "Human communication traffic is lower than expected," an officer said. The commander frowned. "Define lower." 40% below panic models, the officer replied. "That is impossible." On Earth, military bases went into alert mode, but there were no public speeches, no leaders shouting into cameras. Instead, something quieter happened. Old doors opened. Deep beneath mountains, under oceans, and below cities, lights turned on in places no map showed. In a facility buried far below the surface, a group of men and women stood around a large table. They were calm, focused. No one was shouting. At the center of the room was a simple screen. On it were the alien ships, and one line of text: "Execution protocol. Status active." A man in a military uniform spoke softly. "They've arrived exactly on schedule." A woman with gray hair and tired eyes nodded. "As expected." Her name was Director Evelyn Cross. She had waited for this day her entire life. "Any signs of deviation?" she asked. A scientist checked his data. "Minimal. Their fleet formation matches prediction models within 0.01%. Evelyn allowed herself a small breath. "Good," she said. "That means they still believe we're afraid." Above Earth, the alien fleet continued to wait. They watched human broadcasts, news channels showed confused anchors, civilian cameras showed people hugging, crying, praying. To the aliens, it looked like weakness. "This is the fear stage," the commander said. "Soon they will turn on each other." But the alien sensors missed something. Human military channels were silent, too silent. No frantic orders, no chaotic movement. Instead, systems were shifting quietly. Satellites adjusted their orbits by tiny amounts. Power grids rerouted energy. Old defense networks came online, ones built decades ago and forgotten by history. In the alien command ship, an officer hesitated. "Commander," he said slowly, "human electronic systems are behaving oddly." "Explain." "They are not responding in real time. Delays are inconsistent." The commander waved it off. Primitive systems failing under stress. But the officer was not convinced. On Earth, the 6-hour countdown continued. 05, 12, 44. People believed time was running out. They were wrong. In the hidden facility, Evelyn Cross looked at the timer with calm eyes. "Phase 1 complete," she said. A young officer swallowed. "No retaliation?" "No," Evelyn replied. "They want us to panic, so we don't." She turned to the room. "Remember, this plan only works if we look weak." Above Earth, the alien fleet began to adjust. One ship drifted slightly forward, a test. Alien weapons powered up, not to destroy, but to measure response. The beam fired. It was invisible, silent. On alien screens, the strike was perfect. On Earth, nothing happened. The beam passed through empty space. Earth had shifted by less than a second. Not enough for humans to feel, enough to break alien predictions. Inside the alien command ship, alarms finally sounded. "That should not be possible," an officer said. The commander stared at the data. For the first time, doubt entered his voice. "Recalculate." The systems recalculated and failed. Back underground, Evelyn watched the readings. "They took the bait," she said. The officer looked at her. "What if they attack for real?" Evelyn smiled slightly. "Then we moved to phase 2. The countdown continued. 04, 59, 12. To the galaxy, Earth looked scared, helpless, about to break. But beneath the surface, humanity was doing what it always did best: waiting, planning, executing. The galaxy expected fear. Earth was about to prove them wrong. The alien fleet expected Earth to fall apart. That was how it always went. Across the command deck, massive prediction screens floated in the air. Lines of probability moved like slow rivers. Every possible human reaction had already been calculated, simulated, and archived long before the fleet arrived. Fear, confusion, internal conflict. The alien commander stood with his hands behind his back, watching the data. "This civilization is following the expected curve," he said calmly. "Public emotional distress confirmed," an officer added. "Civilian panic rising steadily." The commander nodded. "Good. They are fragile. They always are." But another officer hesitated. "Commander, military channels remain unusually quiet." The commander turned slowly. "Quiet does not mean strong." "It could mean coordination," the officer replied carefully. The commander let out a low sound, almost a laugh. "Humans are divided by nature. Their species fights itself over language, land, and belief. Under extinction pressure, they will fracture completely." He gestured toward the hologram of Earth. "Fear will do our work for us." The fleet remained still. No attacks, no movement, no threat. They waited for Earth to collapse on its own. On Earth, the countdown reached 4 hours. 03, 59, 08. People watched the number tick down in silence. Some cities opened shelters, others closed their borders. Planes landed, trains stopped, life slowed everywhere. But there was no global scream, no mass chaos. That worried some humans. It worried the aliens more. In the hidden facility beneath the planet, Director Evelyn Cross stood at the center of controlled motion. Screens surrounded her, showing space, Earth, and systems that should not exist. Alien confidence remains high, a strategist reported. They believe fear is enough. Evelyn nodded. That belief is our shield. A young analyst asked quietly, "What if they realize the truth?" "They won't. Not yet," Evelyn said. She tapped the table. A new display appeared. Phase 2, preparation only. "No engagement," she said firmly, "not even if they probe." Above them, humanity's quiet work continued. Power grids shifted loads smoothly. Backup networks took control from public systems. Civilian internet slowed on purpose, creating the image of failure. To the aliens, Earth looked like it was breaking. In reality, Earth was disconnecting. On the alien command ship, a new test was ordered. "Send a deeper scan," the commander said. "I want confirmation." A scanning wave spread across Earth. It passed through oceans, cities, and mountains. Alien sensors read human weapons, vehicles, and satellites. Primitive, predictable, weak. But then the scan reached deeper layers. Something interfered. "Signal noise detected," an officer said. "Human shielding?" another asked. "No, it's not blocking us. It's delaying us." The commander frowned. "Explain." "Our scan data is returning out of sequence, milliseconds off, but not consistent." The commander studied the numbers. "Minor errors," he decided. "Ignore them." But the system flagged the data again, then again. On Earth, no one noticed. In the hidden facility, they noticed everything. "They're scanning deeper," a scientist warned. Evelyn nodded. "Let them." "But if they detect—" "They won't," Evelyn interrupted. "We designed this to look like failure." She paused, then added quietly, "Humans are very good at pretending to be weak." 3 hours left. 02, 58, 11. On alien screens, Earth's governments appeared confused. Leaders argued. Emergency meetings ended without decisions. Militaries stayed silent. To the alien fleet, it looked perfect. "This civilization is collapsing internally," the commander said. "We will begin termination at 0. But one alien officer was no longer convinced. "Commander, prediction accuracy has dropped below acceptable range." The commander turned sharply. "By how much?" 0.7%. Silence followed. That number should have been impossible. "We do not miss," the commander said coldly. "Run the prediction again," he ordered. The system recalculated. It returned multiple outcomes. That had never happened before. On Earth, deep beneath the surface, Evelyn watched the same moment happen from a different angle. "They're losing certainty," she said softly. The officer beside her looked tense. "Is that enough?" "For now," Evelyn replied. She looked at another screen. A small indicator blinked green. Phase 2, ready. 2 hours left. 019934. The alien fleet shifted slightly, just enough for Earth's astronomers to notice. Fear spiked across the planet. "This is it," people whispered. In alien command, weapons warmed slowly, but the commander hesitated. "Delay final strike by 10 minutes, he ordered. That hesitation changed everything. In the hidden facility, alarms chimed quietly. "They're unsure,"
the analyst said. Evelyn smiled faintly. Good. Fear has switched sides. Human systems moved again. Not visibly, not violently, but precisely. Alien sensor ghosts appeared where nothing was there. Gravity readings bent just slightly, just enough to confuse. On alien screens, Earth no longer sat exactly where it should. That's not possible, an officer said. Recalibrate, the commander snapped. The recalibration failed. Commander, human movement is inconsistent with causality. The commander stared at the hologram. For the first time, he felt something new. Uncertainty. 1 hour left. 00:59:02. The galaxy expected Earth to beg, to panic, to burn. Instead, Earth waited. Inside the alien fleet, arguments began. This is wrong, one officer said. Their fear response is controlled. Impossible, another replied. They are emotional beings. Then explain the data. No one could. On Earth, Evelyn Cross stood before her team. This is the last moment they believe they are in control, the officer asked. And after? Evelyn's eyes hardened. After, she said, we remind them why humans survive. The countdown reached 30 minutes. The alien commander raised his hand. Prepare full engagement, he said. The order echoed through the fleet. Humanity was supposed to panic now. Instead, Earth executed the plan, and the galaxy was about to learn the difference.
The alien fleet finally moved. Not to attack. That alone was strange. Across the command decks of the massive ships, officers watched Earth with growing confusion. The countdown continued to fall, yet humanity still had not reacted the way the models predicted. No nuclear launches, no desperate attacks, no surrender message. The alien commander narrowed his eyes. They are waiting, he said slowly. For what? An officer asked. The commander did not answer. He did not like waiting. Waiting meant uncertainty. Begin controlled pressure, he ordered. Test their fear. A single alien ship broke formation and drifted closer to Earth. It moved with calm confidence, like a predator stepping closer to wounded prey. On Earth, people noticed. Social networks exploded with fear. Cameras zoomed into the sky. News channels repeated the same words again and again. They're moving. This is it. This is the end. But beneath the surface, humanity did not panic. In the hidden facility, Director Evelyn Cross watched the approaching alien ship. Her hands rested calmly on the table. Status? She asked. Alien probe ship closing. Weapons charging. Evelyn nodded. Hold. A young technician swallowed. They're about to fire. I know, Evelyn said calmly. Still no response? The officer asked. Still no response, she repeated. Above Earth, the alien probe ship fired a precision beam toward the planet. It was not meant to destroy, it was meant to scare. The beam crossed space instantly. On alien sensors, impact was confirmed. On Earth, nothing happened. The beam passed through empty space. Earth had not moved far, not enough for humans to notice, enough to break alien certainty. Inside the alien command ship, silence fell. That is impossible, a whisper asked. The commander stepped forward. Run the impact analysis. The system responded. Target missed. Temporal offset detected. The commander's calm shattered. Explain, he demanded. We struck the predicted location, the officer said, but the planet was no longer there. The commander stared at the data. Planets did not dodge. Civilizations did not step aside. This species is hiding something, he said slowly. On Earth, panic still ruled the surface. People cried, families prayed, shelters filled, and that was exactly what humanity wanted the aliens to see. In the hidden facility, Evelyn Cross allowed herself a quiet breath. First test passed, she said. The officer beside her asked. "They'll try again, won't they?" "Yes," Evelyn replied. "Harder." As if on command, alien ships began repositioning, more weapons charged, more sensors activated. "They're escalating," the analyst warned. "Let them," Evelyn said. She turned to a different screen. Hidden human assets began to wake up. Not many, not powerful, but strange. Deep beneath the oceans, small human ships detached from their hiding places. Inside mountains, sealed doors opened. In remote deserts, forgotten launch pads powered up. These ships did not rush forward. They drifted. Their movement patterns were wrong. Too slow, too smooth, too quiet. Alien sensors locked onto them instantly. "New human craft detected," an officer reported. The alien commander's eyes narrowed. "Weapons?" the officer replied. "Minimal, primitive hulls, low energy output." The commander felt relief. "So," he said, "they finally show fear." He raised his hand. "Destroy them." Alien weapons fired. Human ships vanished. Not exploded, not destroyed. Gone. "They're gone?" an officer asked. "Confirmed," another replied. "No debris." The commander smiled. "Cowards." They fled. But then the ships reappeared, closer, behind alien lines. "That's not possible," an officer shouted. Alien weapons turned. Human ships vanished again, then appeared somewhere else. The alien fleet began to lose formation. Orders overlapped. Targeting systems failed. Prediction engines returned errors. "They are not obeying cause and effect," an officer cried. The commander finally understood. "They are not faster," he said quietly. "They are earlier." On Earth, Evelyn watched the alien fleet struggle. "They can't predict us anymore," she said. The officer nodded slowly. "Because we already live this." "Yes," Evelyn replied. "Fear makes species react. Memory makes them plan." Alien weapons fired again, this time in wide bursts. Human ships slipped between moments. Each attack missed. Not because of speed, because of timing. The alien commander slammed his claw into the console. "This species violates the cycle," he roared. "They are not allowed to remember." Evelyn spoke softly, knowing the aliens couldn't hear her. "You taught us," she said, "by killing us." Human ships changed tactics. They did not attack hulls. They attacked possibilities. Small devices launched toward alien ships. They attached silently. Time anchors. Alien vessels slowed. Some froze completely. Others aged rapidly, systems breaking down in seconds. The alien fleet panicked. "This was supposed to be simple," an officer shouted. The commander sent an emergency transmission. "Humanity," the message said, filled with anger and fear, "you are interfering with universal stability." In the hidden facility, Evelyn answered. Her image appeared on alien screens. Calm, human, unafraid. "You predicted our panic. That was your mistake." "You are weak," the commander snarled. Evelyn smiled faintly. "We were. Then we learned." The alien fleet tried to retreat. They couldn't. Their exit paths no longer existed. They were trapped in futures that no longer happened. One by one, ships vanished, sealed away, not destroyed, removed. Finally, only the command ship remained. The commander stared at Earth. This was not the first time, he realized. Evelyn nodded. "No," she said, "it wasn't." She cut the transmission. The strange clock beneath Earth slowed, then stopped. The invasion marker disappeared. Above Earth, the alien fleet vanished. People cheered, believing the threat was gone. They did not know the truth, that humanity had won by pretending to lose, that the galaxy was now watching, and that somewhere far away, other civilizations felt something change. Humanity was no longer predictable, and that made it dangerous. The alien fleet did not explode. It did not burn. It simply disappeared. Across Earth's skies, the darkness lifted as if it had never been there. Stars returned. Satellites reconnected. The countdown vanished from every screen. To the people of Earth, it felt like a miracle. Crowds cheered, some cried in relief, others fell to their knees. News channels spoke of survival, of luck, of something no one could explain. But deep beneath the planet, no one celebrated. Director Evelyn Cross stood in the hidden facility, staring at empty space on her screen. Where the alien fleet once hovered, there was nothing. "That was too clean," an officer said quietly. Evelyn nodded. "Because it wasn't a battle." "What was it then?" the officer asked. "A message," Evelyn replied, "to the rest of the galaxy." Far beyond Earth, in regions no human ship had ever reached, ancient systems activated. These were not empires, not fleets, not armies. They were watchers. Civilizations so old they measured time differently. Species that did not travel space so much as observe it. Their instruments detected something impossible, a timeline collapse. Not random, not natural, targeted. One watcher spoke, its voice echoing through a chamber of light and shadow. "The human world line has deviated." Another replied, "That planet was marked for erasure." "Yes," the first said, "and yet it remembers." Silence followed. They opened records of extinct civilizations, thousands of names, all erased cleanly, without resistance. Humanity stood alone among them. On Earth, governments demanded answers. Military leaders held emergency meetings. Scientists argued over theories that made no sense. No one could explain why the alien fleet had vanished. No one, except the people beneath the surface. Evelyn sealed the facility completely. "No public contact," she ordered. "Not yet." A scientist hesitated. "The galaxy knows now." "Yes," Evelyn said. "That's the problem." The strange clock at the center of the room flickered. It no longer showed invasion markers. It showed ripples. "They're observing us," an analyst said. "Multiple points, long range." Evelyn studied the data. "They're not hostile." "Yet," the officer added. Evelyn did not argue. Months passed. Life on Earth returned to something close to normal. People rebuilt routines. Children went back to school. Cities healed. But space felt different. Human satellites detected quiet changes. Deep space probes vanished near the edge of the solar system. Signals returned altered, as if something had touched them. Humanity was being studied, not attacked, tested. "They're deciding what to do with us," the officer said. "Yes," Evelyn replied. "Whether we're an accident or a threat." Then the message arrived. Not on screens, not in sound. It appeared inside systems, inside code, inside physics itself. A sentence formed everywhere at once. "Explain." The facility went silent. "That's it?" the analyst asked. "Just explain?" Evelyn nodded. "They don't understand us." She thought for a long moment. Then she spoke. "We tell the truth." A transmission spread outward from Earth. "We were attacked. We died. We remembered. We adapted. No threats, no demands, just facts." The galaxy did not respond. Not immediately. Weeks later, something entered the solar system. It did not arrive like the fleet. No sudden appearance, no aggression. A massive structure drifted near Jupiter. Ancient, silent, slow. It did not hide. It waited. Earth's governments panicked. Fighters scrambled, weapon systems activated. Evelyn shut them down.
They didn't come to fight, she said. How can you be sure? A general demanded. Because if they wanted us gone, we'd already be gone. Coordinates appeared. A meeting location, neutral space, not Earth. Evelyn volunteered to go. You can't go alone, leaders argued. I have to. They're not here to meet Earth. They're here to meet us. The human ship was small, unarmed. It approached the structure slowly. Inside, Evelyn stood alone. The chamber was vast. Shapes of light and shadow shifted around her. Beings that did not share time the way humans did. One spoke. You broke the cycle. Yes, Evelyn replied. That cycle maintains balance. No, Evelyn said calmly. It maintains extinction. Another voice echoed. You remember what should not be remembered. We remember because you erase. Silence filled the chamber. Then a question. If all species did this, reality would fracture. Why should humans be allowed? Evelyn did not hesitate. Because we didn't choose this. You did. The beings processed that. You are dangerous, one said. Yes, Evelyn agreed. But we are also careful. Another pause. What do you want? They asked. Evelyn thought of Earth, of people who would never know how close they came to ending. We want to live, and we want the killing to stop. You cannot enforce that, a voice replied. Evelyn's eyes hardened. We already did. The beings felt it then. The sealed timelines, the vanished fleets, the futures humanity had cut away. Humanity had not conquered the galaxy, but it had limited it. The structure withdrew. No agreement, no threat, just uncertainty. Back on Earth, the strange clock changed again. New markers appeared. Not invasions, choices. The officer looked at Evelyn. This isn't over. No, she said. But now, she added quietly, they have to plan around us. She looked up at the stars. Humanity was no longer hidden, no longer predictable, and the galaxy would never forget the species that survived its own ending.
The galaxy did not attack Earth. That was how humanity knew the test had begun. Weeks passed after the ancient structure withdrew. No fleets appeared, no warnings came, no hostile signals were detected. Space was calm. Too calm. Director Evelyn Cross stood in the observation room beneath Earth, watching stars drift slowly across the screen. They're doing something, she said. The officer beside her nodded. We just don't know what. Evelyn turned to the strange clock. It no longer showed threats. It showed probabilities, paths branching forward, some bright, many dark. They're not judging our strength, Evelyn said quietly. They're judging our behavior. The first sign came from far away. A human exploration ship near a red dwarf star sent an emergency signal, not a distress call, not an attack alert. A question. The crew reported a massive alien vessel drifting near their route. It did not block them, it did not power weapons, it simply followed, watching. Earth Command ordered the ship to retreat. The alien vessel followed. When the ship stopped, it stopped. When the ship turned, it turned. Hours passed. Nothing happened. They want to see what we do, the officer said. Evelyn agreed. They want to know if we panic. The ship was ordered to continue its mission. The alien vessel stayed behind. Observation complete. Then came the second test. An alien world sent a message, a civilization far weaker than humanity, recently discovered, still using slow ships and fragile technology. Their message was simple. They were under attack, not by fleets, by something invisible. Their population centers were failing, systems collapsing, reality itself bending. They asked Earth for help. Human leaders argued. It could be a trap, generals warned. It could be bait, politicians said. Evelyn listened. Then she spoke. "They're watching to see if we help," she said. "And if we don't?" someone asked. Evelyn looked at the clock. "Then the galaxy will learn what kind of species we are." Human ships launched within hours, not warships, aid ships. Scientists, engineers, medical teams, no weapons beyond basic defense. As they arrived, they discovered the truth. The alien world was caught in a timeline fracture, a small one, something similar to what Earth had faced, but weaker. The fracture was artificial, placed there, a test. Human scientists worked carefully. They stabilized time without sealing it completely. They shared knowledge. They did not take control. They left behind tools. And then they left. The fracture faded. The alien world survived. Far away, watchers took notes. The third test was cruel. A human colony at the edge of the solar system experienced a failure. Power systems collapsed, atmosphere shields weakened. Sensors detected an alien device hidden nearby. It was ancient, silent, and deadly. It could be destroyed easily. Human commanders prepared weapons. Evelyn stopped them. "No," she said. "That's what they expect." "Then what?" a commander demanded. "Let our people die?" Evelyn closed her eyes. She remembered the futures she had seen, the galaxy that expected fear. She said, "Remove the device. Don't destroy it." The operation was dangerous. Human crews boarded the alien device. It resisted, systems fought back. 2 humans died, but the device was shut down and released into space, intact. The colony survived. The watchers noticed. Deep in ancient space, voices gathered. "They are restrained," one said. "They could dominate," said another, "but they do not." "They are still dangerous." "Yes, but they are learning." A new path formed. Back on Earth, Evelyn felt the pressure increase. The clock flickered again. New symbols appeared. An unknown test. This one aimed directly at humanity. A signal reached Earth, not a threat, an invitation, a region of space where physics was unstable, where no species had survived long. The message was clear: enter or be marked unwilling. "They want us to prove we can face the unknown," the officer said. "They want to see if we rely on control or understanding." Human leaders hesitated. Entering that region could destroy ships, kill crews, break reality. Evelyn volunteered again. "This isn't about courage, it's about choice." A single ship entered the region. Inside, time slowed, space twisted, sensors failed. Evelyn watched as reality tried to break them. Human systems adapted, not by force, by flexibility. They allowed small failures, adjusted slowly, learned the rules instead of fighting them. The ship emerged damaged but intact. The message returned. Observed. Nothing else. The galaxy waited, and so did humanity. Evelyn stood alone beneath the planet, staring at the stars. "We passed," the officer said softly. "Some of it," Evelyn replied. "What happens now?" Evelyn looked at the clock. It no longer showed endings. It showed doors. "They stop seeing us as a problem and start seeing us as a variable." "That doesn't sound safe," the officer asked. Evelyn smiled faintly. "It never is." She knew the truth. The galaxy was not afraid of human weapons. It was afraid of human choice. And that made humanity something new. Not conquerors, not victims, but a species the universe had to think about. The galaxy did not announce its decision. There was no message sent to every world, no declaration carved into stars, no ceremony. But the rules changed, and the ancient watchers knew it first. In chambers older than many civilizations, the beings reviewed the human timeline again. Not the one where Earth burned, not the one where panic ruled, the one where humanity adapted. They do not follow prediction, one watcher said. They rewrite response, said another. That makes them unstable. That makes them alive. Silence followed. For the first time in a very long age, the watchers disagreed. On Earth, life continued quietly. People still argued, still dreamed, still feared the future. Most never knew how close extinction had come. Director Evelyn Cross walked through the underground facility one last time. The strange clock hummed softly now, no longer violent, no longer desperate. Its surface showed something new, empty space. "What does that mean?" the officer asked. "It means," Evelyn said, "there are no fixed endings left." The officer frowned. "That sounds dangerous." "It is," Evelyn replied, "but it's also freedom." The final test came without warning. A distant system collapsed. Not attacked, not invaded. Collapsed. A star folded inward, tearing space around it. Planets shattered. A civilization screamed into silence. Human sensors detected it instantly. So did the watchers. The question was simple. Would humans interfere? Evelyn felt the weight of it settle on her chest. If humans acted, they would cross the line no species had crossed. If they did not, the watchers would know humans had limits. "They're watching again," the officer said. "Yes," Evelyn replied, "but this time they don't know what they want us to do." Human scientists confirmed the truth. The collapse could be slowed, not stopped. Saving that system would cost energy, resources, and risk damage to Earth's own timeline systems. Helping would hurt. Not helping would be safe. Human leaders argued for hours. Then Evelyn stood. "We help," she said. "Even if it costs us? Especially then." Human ships launched. Not many. Enough. They entered the broken system and began the impossible work of stabilizing reality, not forcing it, guiding it gently. The star did not survive, but the outer worlds did. Millions lived who would have died. Human ships returned damaged, crews exhausted. Earth's timeline systems weakened. The clock flickered, then steadied. Far away, the watchers observed something they had never recorded before. A species acting against its own advantage, for others. The response came at last, not as words, as permission. Across the galaxy, ancient restrictions lifted, hidden paths opened, locked physics loosened. Worlds once marked for erasure vanished from extinction lists. The watchers adjusted their models. One spoke softly, "Humanity cannot be controlled." Another replied, "Nor ignored." Then what are they? The answer came slowly, a corrective force. Evelyn stood beneath the stars when the final message arrived. It was simple. "You have altered the balance." "Yes," she replied. "You accept responsibility?" She did not hesitate. "Yes." Silence followed. Then the final truth. The cycle ends here. The message faded. The clock powered down. For the first time since its creation, it was no longer needed. Years passed. Humanity expanded carefully, slowly, not as conquerors, as learners. Alien species watched humans with caution and hope. Some feared them, some admired them, but all respected them, because humans had done what no species before them had done. They had survived extinction. They had refused domination. And when given power, they chose restraint. Long after Evelyn Cross was gone, stories spread across the galaxy about a small blue world that refused to panic, about a species that adjusted fate instead of obeying it,
about the day the galaxy expected fear and Earth executed the plan, not with weapons, but with choice. And that was why the universe would never be the same again.